80s and 90s, late 80s, early to mid 90s, devoted a lot of time to writing instrumentals. Being a finger stylist, I enjoyed the music of Leo Kottke and Chet Atkins, a lot of the Windham Hill artists of that era.
Well, I know I've talked to a lot of people as far as their method of how they come about writing a song. I know in the old days, you're kind of along with me with remembering when people used to write it down on a napkin or a note. Nowadays, all the young guys tell me, oh yeah, we put it in our phone now. But I know you kind of get an influence for writing a song about heartache or things that happen in your life. But when it comes to doing an instrumental, how does your development of a song work that way?
I can give you an example. One that I wrote, I call it Two Hearts, Mary's song. My wife's name's Mary, and it come about, she was in the middle of a phone conversation, kind of a comical story, with a niece one morning. I was in my music room, and she put her hand over the receiver of the phone and said, I don't know, let me ask him, and said, Bill, have you ever written a song for me? That's what I'm doing right now.
Well, that's always a good thing, to make sure you take care of the wife.
On a more serious note, another one I wrote, I was just thinking about some old days from back in high school and a few years thereafter, and one of them that had passed away, and fit that mood to music. And that's what it is, it's putting the mood to music as opposed to lyrics.
Absolutely. I mean, I totally get it. You know, I grew up listening to a lot of the instrumental stuff. My mother always listened to a lot of the older country and Chet Atkins and people like that. So you do get a sense of mood with the music, even without the words.
Absolutely, and that's how that comes about.
So in all your performing, what's been one of the biggest venues or one of the biggest shows, not necessarily the biggest as far as capacity, but what's one of the ones that's had the most influence that really sticks out in your mind that you performed with?
What comes to mind immediately is being able to play a few years ago at the Natchitoches Folk Festival, playing in the Coliseum where Jim Croce played his last show. Yep,
you've got the Jim Croce the fanfare going on there. What's your favorite Jim Croce song that really that had the most impact on your life?
Man, I love Operator.
Operator.
Yes. Most impact, I guess, would have to be I Got a Name, since that's what inspired me to learn to play. But he didn't write that one, so the one that he did write would be Operator.
Gotcha. If you could do a tribute album to say Jim Croce, what would be the top 5 songs you would put on that album?
It would be I Got a Name, Operator, The Hard Way Every Time.
You go a little deep there.
Yeah. Alabama Rain.
Oh, that's a good one.
And probably You Don't Mess Around with Jim.
Absolutely. Those are all great songs. I mean, those are songs I grew up with, really loved it. But what can we expect, for your style of music when you perform tonight?
Tonight it's kind of a folk style of ballads, love songs, some spiritual. I spent a little time several years back studying the spiritual exercises of St. Ignatius of Loyola, and didn't really scratch the surface, but it did inspire some nice songs, some spiritual based songs, so you'll hear some of that. A lot of finger picking.
Okay.
A few that I'll strum through. Some comical songs. I have some I certainly have a lot of comical stuff.
Well, we're looking forward to it, and I can't wait.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.